What is going on? Celeste, phew, about an hour ago I did a review saying that I didn't like where the season was going, and I didn't think that they had a real vision for Diaz, or Laurel, or Anatoly, or anything that's really going on. I'm starting to change my mind a little bit. So, this is, again, looking at my notes. A lot has happened in these couple episodes, and the problem with not doing these on a week-to-week basis is when I have to watch multiple episodes in a row, all of it kind of blends together, which is great if you're going to binge watch and be like, oh, I'm going to get the most out of this season, but it's not great if you're going to do individual reviews for every episode. So, keep that in mind. This is episode 14 of Arrow, Collision Course. Obviously, shit just blew up between new Team Arrow and old Team Arrow, original Team Arrow. And it's not going to be repairable for a really, really long time. Oliver's done things to Diggle that are worse than what he did to Renee. But it's also Oliver and Diggle, not Oliver and Renee. But yeah, Collision Course is a very, very solid metaphor for what went down this episode. So, what we see is somehow Laurel went to Corto Maltese, withdrew $70 million from the bank account before everything went down in episode 13. So before the bomb threat, before everyone basically betrayed Cade and James, the $70 million that was supposed to be split up between everybody else on the team, Laurel went and stole all that before Caden could even detonate the bomb or get anybody out of the city. Diaz was betraying him the whole time. Vince went behind his back and joined Team Arrow. Like, everybody was just, yeah. Excuse me. So, nobody was on his side. They were all kind of in it for their selfish gains. Laurel stole the money, and when I first saw it, I was kind of confused. I was like, yeah, that's her, but how she got shot with a gun is in a cabin in the woods with Quentin. How did she steal the money? It's just, it had happened before the events of episode 13. She had gone and stolen the money, and that makes a lot of sense. But that was something that confused me at the very beginning of the episode. I was like, wait, she got shot and got dragged off by Quentin, but how did she go and steal the money at the same time? I thought Diaz might have had some of the face-changing technology or something crazy out of the ordinary that they were going to pull, but it does not look like that anymore. Oh, somebody's calling me. Hold on. I'm just going to let it ring out. So, this is ridiculous. I guess I could. I don't want to click end the call because I know it might. Okay, yeah, no, we should have just left it. Anyways, that's the home phone. I gotta go check on this. Hold on. Do I really gotta? It's just my dad calling about the rest of the family because nobody's home right now. He wants to know how the dogs are doing. It's literally not important, but he has to call anyways. That's my family for you. So, they go to investigate the scene where Dinah and Laurel fought at the end of episode 13, and new Team Arrow gets there first. So Curtis uses his T-spheres to map out what happened with Laurel and how she got away, and it shows that she got dragged off, and they don't know who, but they eventually find out. And then Team Arrow shows up a little bit later, like an hour-ish later, and they see that Dinah has stepped in the blood trail that Laurel caused, and so they just automatically assumed it was new Team Arrow that had taken her and Dinah killed her. So they went to their bunker in the Helix facility, checked it out. Felicity hacked them. Dig shot like a concussive something or a smoke something to knock out Dinah and Curtis while they searched. Oliver held Renee at arrow point, literally arrow point, to his neck, and Renee bugged him during that whole affair. And then, so they figure out through Thea, who outs Quentin, saying, hey, Quentin's had Laurel locked up this whole time in a house, here's the address. They start going. Renee and the rest of the new Team Arrow track Oliver through the bug. And they eventually figure out, oh, they're following us, cut them off with a truck, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I'm going to try and get through this so I can go answer this fucking call, even though the call's not important. So via Out Siren, they have the big thing. Oliver made a deal with Black Siren, which is why New Team Arrow's following them, that if they got the money, Oliver would let her free and send her to another country if he could get the 70 million, because he really needs the money. Star City needs the money or it's going to collapse, and she knows that, and she's just going to manipulate the shit out of Oliver. And then Dinah's not willing to give up. They use their last resort to track the rest of the team by pinning their location with John's arm implant. And so they deactivate that, which gives a notification to Curtis saying, hey, this is the location. And apparently, I guess it's a prototype, so it would be like, hey, locate, here's the location, go here, and you'll be able to reinstalize the program software or whatever is keeping his arm in function. Obviously, Felicity gets it running again. He's not full functioning, as you can tell in the fight that happens, but they definitely crossed the line right there. That's what Oliver was talking about when he says they crossed the line first, is they were willing to injure John to get to Laurel. And so Oliver's willing to fight them to protect her, even though in the end everything just goes to shit and there was no need for it. So there's the OTA versus NTA fight, original Team Arrow versus new Team Arrow, and they do get out pretty hard. Renee gets hurt, he goes to the hospital. Dinah's pretty pissed off. She doesn't kill Laurel. Mr. Terrific talks her out of it, but they're still going to go after her. Without the knowledge, original Team Arrow doesn't have the knowledge that they're going to just turn her in. So they cut her off and let Laurel get away instead of going after Laurel altogether. Now that they have the same goal, they have to take Renee to the hospital, and they're in the midst of everything chaotic going on. Laurel slips off. She's in the clear. So Renee's in the hospital. Felicity and Dig try to go visit him, and Curtis shuts them the fuck down. No way in hell they were going to go see Renee. They lost that privilege, as he said. Wow. Yeah, no, there's going to be a lot of suspense between those two teams. I think a lot of the rest of the season is going to focus more on that than the actual villains, because they're all in it for the same reason, but they do not trust each other at all. And so a lot of the season is going to be built on trusting the intel, and I'm sure Diaz is going to pit the two teams against each other all the time. Excuse me. He's just going to use that to his advantage to get away. I think next week is the week with Colton Haynes. I think they're going to kind of leave that drama out of it for next week, and they're going to focus more on Thea coming back into play, because I think it's got to be 3-on-3. You got to go Speedy, Green Arrow, Spartan, versus Black Canary, Wild Dog. You know what I mean? And terrific. So I feel like she's gonna come back into the fold slowly. She said she wanted to leave this life over and over and over, and I think at some point they're gonna have to bring her in, and this is the perfect little tie-in. It's with bringing Roy back. So Diaz in the promo is interrogating Roy. He's trying to get Oliver to come out as the Green Arrow. It's a trap or something like that. He wants to use Roy as bait for something, and so that's what's bringing him in. He's gonna be around for I don't know exactly how many episodes. It's gonna be 2 at most, or at least. It's gotta be 2 at least, because I know he's in 15. It was something like a 2 to 4 little episode arc that he's coming back for. So it's not too long, but enough to keep everybody excited to bring another player into the game, and just see things rolling as they go. Because Roy's somebody that Oliver trusts all out. Like, the difference between Roy and somebody like Mr. Terrific, who's mostly trusted by Oliver, is ridiculous amount. Like, here's Oliver. He trusts himself 100%, right? Then here's Diggle and Felicity. I don't know who's, probably Felicity over Diggle, but Felicity is right there at like 99%, and so is Diggle at 98%. Then Roy's probably at a 95, 90% trust, and then somebody like Mr. Terrific, Black Canary, Wild Dog are way further down, but he's like at 70%. Renee's probably at 50. Black Canary's at 20 right now. He does not trust her at all. She just wants to kill Laurel. That's all she's in it for. Which is a good arc. I think it's a good arc for her because she's an ex-cop, wants to see justice done. It all makes sense for her motives. It's just they don't want her to cross that line, and with them not speaking anymore, I'm sure they're never gonna know that she's not gonna cross that line, and they're gonna assume, hey, you just want to kill Laurel. And the last thing I want to speak on in regards to her is she just made a bold fucking move at the end of the episode. Her going up to a public person saying, hey, I am Laurel Lance. I don't know what was going on. That brings her back into the public light. She has now come back from the dead. Like, again. Another one of the Laurel Lance. Oh, goodness. Like, she's now gonna try and take Dinah's job. She's gonna get back in bed with Diaz and Anatoly. She's gonna do all this illegal shit and be like an inside person working with the police captain for Diaz, or who knows, but she's gonna try and get her DA position back from Dinah and try and ruin her life outside of Vince. Like, legally, like, work her way. I guess she's not the DA. I just noticed that. She's the police, I don't even know the word. Those are two different things. For some reason, I always think Dinah's in the legal system because that's normally Black Canary. But yeah, no, like, Laurel's gonna come back and try and, like, be a DA or some shit, probably. Like, Quentin's gonna have to pretend to be like, oh, yeah, she's back, yay, when he knows damn well that she's a cold-blooded killer and is not gonna change. And they're gonna keep fleshing that out in between. Like, every character other than Thea right now is like, you can't trust that bitch. And like, Quentin's like, no, trust me, I'm working with her. And everybody's like, sorry, we don't care. We just need the money from her. So, excuse me. But that's a bold fucking move. To just be like, hey, you know what? If I can't get out of the country, why not just go back into public light? So if I get killed or murdered, like, and it also kind of ruins Laurel's reputation more. And there's already enough weird shit between Sarah coming back from the dead, like doppelgangers now. Like, the public's gonna be pretty skeptical if that shit starts panning out, and like everyone's like, how come Laurel died, was the Black Canary, and now is back alive? That's a little weird. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but there's a lot that they could do now that I wasn't seeing last episode, because it was just not as exciting as I wanted it to be, and they totally paid it off with the OTA versus NTA fight. See, that was ridiculous. So that's that. I'm gonna go watch some Flash now. Peace out. I will see you when we go over episode 13 or something like that for Flash. I'm a couple episodes behind on that, and I'm also a couple episodes behind on Legends that I have to do reviews for. Actually, I'm like way behind on the reviews. I watched a couple of them because they were only on the CW app because my mom deleted them. Basically, my family sucks, and they're calling me for stupid ass reasons. But that's that. I'm gonna go. Peace out.